Okay, so now remember the formula. Okay, remember the formula, right? Ask, seek, knock. Okay, so we did the ask. Like, make sure you ask, right? So the next one is seek. Okay, seek. Seek comes after the awareness, after the acts. Seek comes, after that. So seek is number two. So we talking about seeking is like looking, learning, searching, applying, becoming aware, pursuing intentionally. Okay? That's seeking. Now you seeking. Okay, now you doing some, you looking for it. Okay, you don't just stop at the acts. Okay, so real life examples of seeking, right? So let's say something wrong. Let's say, it's an illness, right? Now, what you will now do when you seeking is now you got to change your eating habits, right? Now you got to change up what you're doing, right? Because now you seek it to find healing. You seek it to find a cure to something that's wrong with you. Now you drinking water. Now you doing, you may be walking daily. You may be moving. You may be active, right? Going to the doctor. You may be more aware, researching some symptoms. So these are some real life things that you seeking it. You seeking to find an answer. Now you hear people, they be like, I'm just gonna pray about it. I'm just gonna pray about it. God gave you a brain, okay? God gave you instructions. God is giving you real life things. This is what you're supposed to do, okay? Like, these are the principles. This is how you follow it. This is how you get what it is you're trying to get, okay? You do this and you're gonna have this, okay? So for me, right, my seeking is different, right? Because my ask is different. So the ask is, okay, I said, how do I get out of survival mode? I'm tired of survival mode, God. I don't want to do this. I don't like the fact that my child is at school and with somebody else for 8+ hours, God. I don't like the fact that I'm borrowing and asking people for money and people is needing to help me, God. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that I'm homeless, God. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that my son is viral on the news for such a tragic event, God. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. So that's my ask. Okay, so now from the ask, I don't like that, right? Because I don't like the fact that it's so many different things that I just don't like. I don't like nobody owning my time. Like, I don't like that. Like, I could have so much more to do with my time. Those books that I be showing, like, people be thinking that those books that I be showing, people be thinking that those books that I be showing is books, like, people be like, oh, books I read. No, baby, these ain't books I read. These are books I wrote. These are books I wrote, baby. These are systems I created, okay? These are structures, okay? These are not, baby, these are frameworks, okay? Baby, these are not, baby, these are not books I read. These are books I wrote, okay? Okay. Okay, so my ask was, how do I get out of survival mode? You get people like, come on, girl, you gotta pay your car note, girl, you gotta pay your rent, like, and I'm like, car note and rent. God, how do I figure out how I pay these things for eternity? God, how do I figure out how I pour so much that my cup is overflowing, God? How do I turn out to be? I'm tired of being the borrower, God. I want to be the lender, okay? I'm tired of wanting people, God. This is a problem for me, God. This is a problem. So this is the axe. This is the axe. So now the seek, right? The seek. Okay. So how do I do these things? How do I do these things, God? How do I, I want something different. I don't want to live check. I don't want to live like this, God. How do I do something different? I don't want nobody honoring my time, God. I don't want to sit up and wake up in the morning and rush, God. I don't want to have to take my child so strangers can take care of her while I'm taking care of strangers, God. I don't. So how do I fix this, God? How do I get out of survival mode? And God said, okay, well, what can you do, right? And remember, the ask at first was, oh, God, how do I get out of survival mode? But before that, the ask was, how do I get people from pain to purpose? Remember that part. So now, at first, the ask for me had become, God, how do I get people from pain to purpose? And God say, I'm finna put you in survival mode. I'm finna put you. I need to develop your character. I need to take you places that you need to be aware of. When you see, you know how to identify what's going on here, okay? I need to take you and I need to do some more structuring with you, okay? So now it's like, okay, I asked for these things. So God, how do I get out of these things? So God say, I got some things for you to do, right? And in the meantime, this is your seek. This is your seek. Because just because you run into problems, I'm not going to take your promise away. A lot of people be thinking, I done ran into this problem, now I can't get my promise. That's false. So what do my seeking become? So it's like, okay, well, what do I do? What do I do? Like I know how to do a lot of stuff, right? I know how to do so much stuff, but what do I like doing? What do I enjoy doing? What do I feel like when I'm on a higher level? What, God, what are you telling me to do? What's your will, your way? How do I accomplish this? Get them from pain to purpose. Well, you got to go from pain to purpose first. Okay, God. Well, okay, how do I do that? Right? And then that's when God like, okay, you study, you read, you get up, you write, okay, you talk to me, you have a relationship with me. You're not just looking at no Bible, baby. Because you know, you're not just looking at no Bible, baby. We have a direct connect, me and God, direct. So my seeking becomes watching teachings, studying E.T. and Myron Golden, building systems, journaling, tracking, learning, creating frameworks, posting videos, and building communities. Like, this is what my seeking is, right? So this is what we're actually seeking, like, yeah, but that's kind of like knocking. Building communities, I think, is like knocking. Seeking is like watching E.T. and Myron Golden, studying them, watching different teachings. Building systems is more of you knocking. You knocking, baby. Learning yourself. I learned myself. Yes, learning yourself, and I created a system for people to learn themselves too, right? So that was one of the systems. Like, okay, create this system. This is how you learn yourself. You teach people how to learn themselves too. Because I'm sure just like you want to get out of survival mode, baby, they want to get out of survival mode too. Okay. Creating frameworks. That was another one. That is a knocking. When you is creating something, you're knocking. Okay, you're not seeking no more. You knocking. Okay. Now you doing the work and you consistent with it. I have a consistency problem. I do. And that's something that I had to ask God about that too. That was another ask. I got a problem, God. Okay, so the next one is knocking. Okay, so knocking, baby, you knocking. Okay, now have you ever been to somebody's house? You knocking on the door, and you know they in there, but they not answering the door. My mama used to do this all the time to my cousin them, y'all. She used to do this all the time to anybody who decided that they wanted to pop up at our house, and they did not call my mama and tell my mama that they was coming. Baby, it was a problem. You was gonna sit, and she didn't care that you saw her car right there in front of her house. She didn't care nothing about that, because you should have called her first. You should have done the ask. You should have done the ask, baby. Before you come knocking, did you ask? Because you just knocking on the door and you ain't even asked for nothing. And then not only did you not ask, you ain't even seek it, because you don't even know if it's behind that door. Now, when you knocking on that door, okay? You knocking on that door. You better be knocking on that door. You need to know that what you ask for is behind the door. If you don't know and you just knocking on the door and it's not there, you wasting your time. So first we need to ask, okay? Now we need to seek and make sure it's behind that door, okay? Because it may be behind another door. Is you behind the right door? Are you knocking on the right door? You may be knocking on the wrong door. And if you knocking on the wrong door, baby, that's a problem. That's a problem. You at the wrong door. You at the wrong door, okay? You don't want that man. He don't want you. You don't want that job. That job sitting up there coming to you talking about, hey, we got this for you, acting like they the saviors. We don't want that. Who wants that? I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to exchange my time for your little I don't want that, right? So you knocking on the wrong door, baby. You got it twisted, because that ain't the door. So now I need to know, because somebody will present a door in front of me that I don't want. I don't want that door. That's not the door I want, baby. That's the wrong door. So you need to make sure you're knocking on the right door. All right, so remember the formula is ask, seek, and knock. Okay, so now you made sure you knocked on the right door. You made sure you're knocking on the right door. Okay, you didn't ask. Okay, you went through the process of asking. Okay, and not only did you just ask, you didn't sit there, you didn't stop at the ask, you didn't say, well, I'm just gonna wait and see what God do. You didn't do that. You didn't stop at the ask, okay? And you start looking, seeking, okay? You start seeking, okay? So now you seek, so now you know it's behind that door. It's the right door. So now you know what you want is behind that door. It's behind that door. Okay, now you know what you want is behind that door, right? Now you know it. It's behind the door. This the right door. I got the right door. I ain't about to be wasting my time with the wrong door. I ain't about to be wasting my time with nothing I don't want. I'm not about to be wasting my time with nothing that don't serve me. I'm not about to be wasting my time with nothing that's not helping me grow or getting me to the purpose or getting me closer to what I need to be doing or getting me closer to God. Okay? I'm not about to be wasting my time. Okay? All right? So Now I know that's the right door. I know that's the right door. So now I need to knock on that bad boy. I need to knock. Now usually when you knocking on the door, baby, you knocking on the door because it's closed and locked. Okay? So usually you knocking on the door because it's closed and it's locked, right? But remember, it's something behind that door that you want. It's something behind that door that you want. Don't forget that. It's something behind that door that you want. Okay, now you want number 3. All right, this is number 3. You didn't ask, you didn't seek, you didn't went looking. I know it's in there. It's right up in there. But the door is closed and it's locked. So you need to go and you need to go knock. Okay? You need to go knock on that door. So when we talk about some examples of knocking, okay? Some examples of knocking is you keep showing up even though you got low views, okay? You keep showing up even though you have no views, okay? You keep showing up even though don't nobody know you, okay? You continue to do what you need to do. You continue to make yourself better. You continue to practice in private, and you continue to build yourself. Okay, so you keep recording. Okay, you keep showing up. You keep posting, and you keep building. All right, and you keep teaching. And you keep teaching, even while you're doing things that you don't want to do. Knocking is also still writing, still talking to God, even when you don't think it's working. Still waking up super early, doing what you need to do, to practice your purpose. Still doing the things that you are supposed to do, regardless of whether the results has shown up or not. Because even if the results don't show up, people like to put time frames on things, right? And it's like, no, it's not gonna happen in your time. It's gonna happen in God's time. It's not gonna happen in your time. So you can't rush it. It's not gonna happen in your time. It's not gonna happen when you think it should happen. It's not gonna happen. So again, if you watch this whole thing and you like, oh my God, like that process seems so simple, but I don't know how to get past the fact of just waiting, or just I don't know how to get past the fact of this, or just whatever it may be, and you like, I don't know how to do that, and you watch the series and you like, I'm tired of that too. I really want to get out of survival mode. Text the word BUILT to 630-863-3142. Okay, now this is my second community, y'all. I had my first community I had to let go because I was in survival mode. I couldn't even keep it. I couldn't even afford it. I couldn't even keep up with it because I was in survival mode. I was trying to survive myself. How was I going to help some people and I couldn't even survive myself? So this is my second community and I'm building it. So remember, if you like, okay, like I really want to get out of survival mode. I really want to fix what's wrong with me. I really don't know how to fix this, and I really want to go about doing this. How do I do this? Listen, we all got struggles, and we all be on here. Oh, this happened to me, that happened to me. We all got struggles, right? But the problem is we don't have a structure. We don't have a structure, and that's exactly what you need. And if you need the structure, make sure you text 630-863-3142. Okay, text the word BUILT to 862. Text the word BUILT to 630 863-3142.